And welcome to a new 2021 episode of Price Check. Today we're going to take a look at one of our favorite antique categories. Yes, that means it's time for Chinese Cloisonne. We're looking at recent sales on a renowned auction site that some people like to talk badly about. We're more interested in the items, so we'll skip right to that. If you enjoy this type of content and checking in with prices for select specialty categories, go ahead and hit that subscribe, support the channel, and let's get into some fine antiques here. Um, Probably the most noticeable sale, $7,100 for a pair of Moonflask vases. Very desirable shape. It looks like we have, oh goodness, phoenix and some flowers. Um, Good key design at the bottom. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of things we'd be looking for in this type of design. Evidence of hand working is one of them. They should look similar, but they shouldn't be too similar. There should be obvious instances where it's not a machine working the cloisonne. If you're actually to count things, is where you'll really notice it, um, or in the details. Difference between the eyes, uh, some of the ways in which things move, um, shapes of some of the circles. There's all sorts of stuff that you can look at here. Even this, a really good example is this blank space up near this. Let's see if I can, near these flowers here. As you see on the edge here, we have a couple like almost teardrop shapes that are absent because somebody probably used up more room somewhere or other. And again, down here you've got this shape. It's not present over here just based on how the spacing worked out. So those are good evidences of hand working. We like to see that. Uh, Goodness, I'm so tired. I'm sorry. Hopefully this is an enjoyable enough scene to not be too concerned. Um, yeah, really great looking piece here. Um, nice looking tops. Um, Seller, looks like they've got good feedback. They've got a handful of sales. More and more people are turning to selling online, so, um, and this looks like a good varied set of bids by a bunch of different people. So that's always good to see too. Gosh, I'm so sorry about the yawning. Um, Here, this was actually really interesting, and I pulled it aside, and we've got another small antique seller placing this one on eBay. This is quite a varied little cloisonne pipe. The Malachite fist at the end is really cool. Um, and it's funny because I feel like I remember when these types of items, even the cloisonne ones, um, we're not fetching anywhere near these prices. $3,800. Great, I mean, great sale. Um, you look here again, varied buyer, varied auction history. Um, yeah, looking great. And here, this is what I pulled aside. Prices starting to rise on these Republic pieces, listed by Bauming Collections, Collectibles, Antiques. Um, we're familiar with Bauming, so we're not too worried about their dating to Republic. And this is a rather fine piece, a rather unique piece too, if you ask me. I mean, to get the detailed white cloisonne work is really something else, and you get this sort of fishy scene that is reminiscent of older uh, older Chinese works. Um, and on the back you have a little bit of floral scene, the uh, corded bits that run through the knot. I mean, there's such intricate work to be done. And this, it's hard to tell whether this would have been machined or hand worked. The Republic was really it's really the start to the machining period, and there's a lot of things on here that look really intricate and like they were probably done by machine. Um, but hard to say for sure. I'm sure Baoming would know. And I might have to just shoot them an email. Gosh, it does look great though. Really nice pieces. And sold for $2,900. We're not too surprised there. A bit cheaper. We have this fine pair of Cloisonne. We don't have an assigned date on this, but I'm liking a bit of what I'm seeing. Although some of the Cloisonne work feels kind of in really good condition, which is a tad concerning. But this is a nice looking piece with some good work on it. 50 bids, all the way up to $471. Started at $9.99. Wow. And here's a more common vintage piece. Maybe just turning antique here soon. Nice millefleur, 1,000 flowers. A good decor piece. Nice greens, nice colors on the flowers. There's a lot of these out there though. And this is something you might run across in a shop. I'd say this is a tad high of a price for it, but you can certainly get that. Better with the lid. Gosh, so much yawning. So sorry. Here we get to the vintage section, where there's a lot more vintage pieces, less fine antiques. And there's a couple of things to watch out for when you're buying Cloisonne, and I don't mean in a bad way, but more in trying to date it. You can see how many sort of metal breaks we have here in this piece, and this is something that while it happens in earlier pieces, I think it tends to happen a lot in the mid to late 20th century, as I'm sure it became far easier to do. $290 though, no slouch, tons of action, getting it all the way up there. Looks like somebody really wanted this. And here I think I think I've actually bought and sold some of these. Nice pieces. We don't get any dating on them. I think these are really mid-century, a little bit earlier, possibly, probably not. Great decor pieces. You have a nice clean set here. The black and green is still in style very much. So what they lack in sort of historic draw, I think they really add in design, and I'm not surprised we've got a full price here around what best offer accepted, probably about $220. So that looks good to me. And here we've got some 1960. I agree with them on the dating. Again, if you've got these this bit of extra metal work and things look to be in pretty good shape, you're probably looking at a mid-century or later piece. Still no slouch, $160. Pretty good altogether. And then the last item we had was actually kind of interesting. I'm curious to hear other people's opinions on this. I did check out the seller. They're not they've got decent history. They're certainly not a Chinese antique specialist. Um, what do folks think of this? Um, to me, this looks like it's just very low quality. Um, I wouldn't say it's not old. I could see it being new quality, low quality and newer. I could also see it being low quality and older. You know, maybe. Uh, but oh, this is weird. I don't think I've ever seen Cloisonne that looks like this. Um, something is just off about this. I mean, I'm not surprised it sold for 70, 100 bucks. Like it's an interesting thing, and they say it's early 20th century, and I could see that. I don't know. What do you think, folks? Let me know. It was a nice little run through on recent sales for Chinese antiques or Chinese cloisonne online. If you stuck with me the whole way, make sure to drop the subscribe. We appreciate that so much, and I hope you have a great day.